A wax figure of French President Emmanuel Macron was snatched from a Paris museum Monday, only to resurface hours later outside the Russian embassy, an act of protest that has stirred outrage in a country already grappling with doubts over its leader's Ukraine policy. Greenpeace France claimed responsibility for the bold operation, calling it a direct challenge to what they described as Macron's political duplicity, projecting strong support for Ukraine while maintaining lucrative trade ties with Moscow. According to reports, 2 women and a man entered the Grevin Museum posing as tourists. Once inside, they changed into workers' uniforms, located the $40,000 wax figure, and quietly exited through an emergency door, concealing the sculpture under a blanket. The group then staged their protest in front of the Russian embassy, placing the wax Macron beside a portrait of Vladimir Putin and surrounding it with hazard signs carrying messages like "Ukraine burns, business continues."
Yes, we're targeting Emmanuel Macron by name. Hence the fact that this morning we borrowed Emmanuel Macron's wax statue from the Grevin Museum and brought it here in front of the Russian embassy, because we feel he has a particular responsibility in this situation every time he positions himself as a great defender and supporter of Ukraine. On the other hand, it should be the first in the European discussions to put an end to its imports of uranium, gas, and chemical fertilizers from Russia.
Despite Macron's pledges of military assistance to Kyiv, including drones, anti-tank weapons, air defenses, and armored vehicles, activists argue such gestures ring hollow when France continues importing energy and fertilizers from Russia.
On the one hand, France really does support the Ukraine. But on the other, it contributes to the Russian war effort by continuing to trade with Russia to the tune of billions of euros, importing massive quantities of uranium, liquefied natural gas, and chemical fertilizers from Russia. And that's no longer possible. Neither France nor the European Union should continue to import products from Russia on such a massive scale.
Macron's recent suggestion that European troops could one day be deployed to Ukraine under specific conditions has stirred unease among some allies, highlighting divisions within the EU on how far the bloc should go. At home, the controversy is only deepening. Greenpeace's stunt has amplified public resentment toward Macron, whose administration is seen as increasingly out of step with both public opinion and its professed foreign policy goals. Far from mere theatrics, the protest underscores the moral and strategic dissonance haunting European leaders, torn between solidarity with Ukraine and economic reliance on Russian commodities.